Hi and welcome to another edition of Winning Ways, where our good friend Jimbo Goodman has gone up to the sales ahead of me, and I've got racing journalist Andrew Harrison with me. Andrew, thanks for popping in.
No, good, Paul. Our third reserve, no problem.
Yeah. You come off the bench.
Like Wayne Rooney.
Yeah. You're the Wayne Rooney of the show. You've come off the bench, and we normally have Sharzy or Len Ferner and yourself. We've had Dees. We had a few people come in, and it's your turn to give us a couple of opinions. We always start off the show talking a bit of sport, and let's start rugby. The Sharks.
Because after the game against the Rebels, I gave them no chance in Argentina. So they must have pulled their socks up a bit.
First team to go out there and win, from the locals.
Yeah, but what I find so interesting is the Rebels, we drew 9-9 here. They go to PE and they get thrashed 44-3 or something.
Yeah,
so
it's amazing.
Something went wrong.
I think for professional rugby, you can't work out how a team can get thumped that big.
Yeah, I think there are too many teams and it's
not
consistent.
They're trimming that. But it's good for the Sharks. They'll have people.
It's great
they
for
play
the
the
Sharks,
Force, I think, this week coming up. They'll have people here on Saturday. Right, let's talk football before we go on to 3 to follow. And great derby. Local derby, Spurs, my beloved Spurs.
Oh, your beloved Spurs, yeah.
Yeah, beat Arsenal. I thought they completely outshone them.
Yeah, I think Arsenal, there's something missing in that side.
Yeah.
There's no spark.
Yeah, must be Wenger must go. I know.
But
Spurs,
yeah.
Gonna...
Did you see, I thought it was funny, one of those where they had the anti-Zoomer things. Wenger must go in the middle.
Must go. You're surprised you don't see it everywhere in the world. But interesting about Spurs, who look like they're going to finish second to Chelsea. They've lost the least games. They've scored the most goals. They've conceded the least. They have the best goal difference, and they're going to finish second. That's the harsh reality of that football league.
Yeah, but as I was saying to you earlier, I think a bit of the human thing will come in. It's pressure does funny things.
Well, we saw it, Man United at home dropping 2 points to Swansea. I think he did himself no favours, Rashford. He's a great player. He got everything going from his youngster. Then he resorted to the diving and getting the penalty for his team.
That's not good. No.
Yeah, so the battle's still on for the top 4 spots.
Yeah. Mind you, that free kick the bloke took from the middle, that was a hot, it was a brilliant kicker. Yeah.
Sigurdsson, always been a very good dead ball player. And then Man City going and drawing at Middlesbrough, who are second bottom. And of course, we've got Liverpool who play tonight. But let's get on to our 3 to follow. The first horse we found in our 3 to follow was up in Gauteng, and it was a horse called Mutawari from the powerful Michael de Kock stable. And it runs a very good race, this imported horse. It looked like it was going to win. Let's go and have a look at the race. Right, Andrew, this horse was debuting, and the talk was it could run a bit. It found a bit of support. Went off at 9 to 2. But your eventual winner, Alex the Great, goes off the front.
Goes off to the front, yeah. And Callan Murray, he's really come good these days. He's learnt a lot.
These riders give him a chance.
He raced a little bit wide.
Yeah.
He's in the blue colours of the noseband.
Yeah, you can shake Hamdan's colours. Just covered up in 5th. A very good ride too, I thought, by Randall Simons on the winner, Alex the Great, because he certainly has saved a bit here. Polar Ice is showing speed on the fence, and the horse that we've found is, as you say, it's got a real slip of a noseband, but he produces this horse at the right time, though.
Yeah, he moved up. He looked like he was going to win. But a good jockey can always judge the pace, and Randall Simons judged this to perfection.
Yeah, it was a very good ride. And even Purple Diamond, who runs on very well down the inside. But a great ride by Randall Simons. But keep an eye on this horse. I think Greenness beat it.
Greenness beat him. I think if you see as it's closer to the line, he starts coming on again. And I think next time out you can...
Yeah, you can be with this one. Mutawari from the Michael de Kock stable. And as I say, very good ride on the winner. Well done to Roy Magna and Randall Simons. And then our next one we're going to talk to you about comes up in Cape Town. And let's have a look at this here. We found a horse for you called Pumeza. And Pumeza, bred by Maritz Fontaine. Let's have a look at it. It shows good speed as well, Andrew.
Yeah, it does. She was right up there all the way.
Yeah.
It just got right out.
Yeah, she's a nice filly. She jumps 2 off the right. The winning horse is a horse called Lacerta, who's in Bernard Cantor's silks down the inside. And good plug for Twice Over.
Oh, yeah, he's a new stallion. Cloverflay, he's got a real good racing pedigree.
He was a racehorse. He was a tough, very good horse. So that they're winning sprints is a very good sign for Twice Over. They've got to be very excited at Cloverflay. But this turned out to be a good race. You know, Sassy Lady showing pace, Ice Queen showing pace towards the outside. And this winner's very green, but we thought Pamuza ran a very good race, chasing it up the inside.
But also in Cape Town, you never know which side is the right side of the course. Yeah. One day it's inside, next day it's outside. So it all depends where they go. It's coming through nicely now.
Yeah, this is a Tiger Ridge, Maritz Fontaine and Vugelbros Bredder. They're going through a purple patch as well. But I like the way this horse of Justin Snape's, Lacerta, stayed on because he got pressure both sides.
Yeah, and it's a really good finisher.
Yeah, so there we go. That's Pumeza, the second of our 3 to follow. And the next one we're going to go on to was locally up at Scottsville over the weekend. And we saw a Toreador come out of a very good VAR mare.
Yeah, Toreador is a very good bread and butter stallion.
I queue up and buy Toreadors. Yeah. I think he's a very good stallion.
You get them for a good price too.
Yeah, and it came into a race where there were 2 horses finding a lot of support and had good form. The 2 horses were the eventual winner, Procol Harum, who's a Karari who can really get along. And the third horse was Northern Rebel, the Rebel King from Mark Dixon. But let's have a look at the race. And Andrew, this horse gets out of the race early, if I can use that term. It's got
yeah, we see Procol Harum jumps out and
goes across a few, yeah.
right over the field.
Yeah, see, Bernard Faderb's on it. It's last now.
Didn't do any favours to
anybody. Yeah, didn't. Procol Harum showing good speed and going to follow it across. It was I thought, the betting danger. The Northern Rebel horse, the Rebel King horse. They're dictating now, but on the outside is the horse we found.
I think keep an eye on him because he ran a tremendous race. I mean, for 2-year-olds to get starched at the pens there and have to come off behind.
Yeah.
Because I know Duncan rates Procol Harum as quite
Procol Harum looks a very nice horse. And Procol Harum, who had run second in his debut, gets pushed by Northern Rebel, these 2, and suddenly here, very green and coming on is the horse that we found called Filippo.
He comes with a rattle at the finish. It looked as if he actually might get there because Procol Harum's under the stick there.
Yes.
Under real pressure. And I thought he held on just long enough.
Yeah, the mare Wishful Eye was very fast. Neil Bruss and the Wrights were involved with it. So this is a very quick pedigree by Toreador. Locally bred, our man Lee Scribanti, Piemonte stud.
Right, that's good for him because he's come good. He's put a lot of money into the game.
He put a lot of money into it.
Since he's moved up to KZN, yeah.
He's starting to sell well at the sales too, and we'll talk about the sales coming up in a moment. But that's our 3 to follow. Let's go on to our next segment.
All set, and the speed is on. Daring Dave a length slow, Talk to the Stars also missed it by a length. Musket was out in a flash, so too was Blizzard Bell, and Belong to Me, the red sleeves towards the outside, is joined by Trip Tease, Carry On Alice, and the yellow sleeves and purple cap races just behind the leading group. Over towards the extreme inside is Tar Heel, Copper Parade just behind those, and Splendid Gardens in the clear in the orange and black, and 3 lengths off the leader. Graduation Day dives in, then comes Move Feed, Vincente's about 6 off the leader, Barbosa's next best, Talk to the Stars and Daring Dave is losing touch into the final 300 metres, and Trip Tease hard up on the outside as a narrow lead, but Carry On Alice is all over him. Carry On Alice into the final 150 metres, goes past them with a wet sail. What a performance this is. It's on for second. Talk to the Stars, Trip Tease, Fart Up, Minor Money, 10 out of 10. Carry On Alice breaks their hearts again. Talk to the Stars second, third is close. Trip Tease and Barbosa.
Well, there we go. Carry On Alice winning last year's computer form sprint. Always a very good race.
It's always a good race, always gets a good field, but Carry On Alice is a tough filly.
I think she's won 4 Group 1s, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, but she's also raced a few times. Sean hasn't put her away.
No. And she's produced. She's gone all over the country and she produced. She beat Talk to the Stars, himself a Group 1 winner. Without shoes.
It's nice. I've seen Australia now, all those top mares. I mean, they raced till they're 6, 7.
Yeah. I watched a program the other day, and they flicked over to guy doing the information for I think it was Punchestown in Ireland.
Yeah.
And real Irish accent. You know? He said, "I've been waiting long. I can't do Irish accent because I'm Lebanese." But he said he's been waiting for a long time for this horse. It's won this race 3 years in a row, and they've primed it for this race, and he thinks it'll win. And I think it'll be a good bet, this 14-year-old. A 14-year-old. Yeah, so the Irish are still
win?
I don't know. I couldn't stop laughing, but it was very, very informative, because he thought there would be a thrilling finish. Thrilling finish, yeah. All right, and that was your blast from the past. Let's go on to Plum of the Week.
Pride in the white, Alileo's down the inside rail, Yellow Metal is making some progress, Lady of the World is towards the outside, Spring Wonders in front, Alileo goes for a hole down the inside rail, then comes Yellow Metal, Easy Game, they're trying to lift Favours Pride to the outside, and Lady of the World, Alileo comes into the lead, Yellow Metal, Easy Game, Alileo is in front, she's all out and she wins, Alileo has beaten Yellow Metal, then came Favours Pride, fourth got close, Easy Game.
Well, we thought this Captain Noel was Plum of the Week, and now 2 for 2. Andrew, looks promising.
Does look promising. He ran on nicely on the inside rail there. Yeah.
It's always tight going through those gaps, and I think the young rider did well to get it, to urge it through. 14 to 10 was the SP, 18 to 10 available on Interbet, and we thought this Plum was certainly worth a touch, and you do get that stretch on Interbet. Make sure you get onto Interbet.
Hi, my name is Gregory Blank. I'm an ex-stockbroker and involved in private equity and stock markets. But my passion for the last 40 years has been horse racing. I initially started off as an owner. We then got into breeding and then into trading. And obviously by default became a punter. The most exciting part, apart from leading as a winner, is having a winning bet at the same time. Obviously that's not always easy, but with the help of Interbet and their transparent information, it makes trading and betting a lot easier. I've had over 38 Group 1 winners and continue to try to strive for that thrill of having a winner. The thrill of owning a horse and winning a race is indescribable. But if they're serious about it and serious about punting, is to get a leg in and really follow Interbet to the max. It's the only way they can be ahead of the game.
Well, there we go, a very good advert before we go on to our next segment. Champions of the Future for the next 3 months will be made up here in KZN, but we're on to current affairs, where we've got some feature races to show you and give you all the latest news. And let's go straight into it, because the first feature race was the Winter Guineas at Kenilworth. And it's been, some top horses have gone this route, you know, especially Mike Bass.
Pocket Power,
Yeah, Pocket Power, and I think this is always a good pointer. Let's go and have a look at the Winter Guineas, which is run on the 29th.
Ever Candid. Then comes Elevated, cornering further back Newlands, and in the back seat we got Ollivander as they straighten up. In the Highland Stud, Winter Guineas with 500 metres left to go. Ranjani in front, Turbulent Airs closest in second. Up the outside we got Our Mate Art. Deeper out on the turf we've also got African Night Sky, being followed on the inside by Best Not Ever. Then comes Elevated. We're into the final 200. Downside African Night Sky. On the inside of that one we got Our Mate Art, Turbulent Brilliant Air, Best Not Ever, Elevated taken off. African Night Sky and Our Mate are these two left to do deal. It's African Night Sky that's finishing the better. African Night Sky wins it from Our Mate Art. Then came Load Shed, and behind that Perovskia.
Well, there we go. The Dynasty's come through. Looks a nice horse.
Looks a nice horse, but I was just watching Bernard Fadeherb there. He's strong.
Yeah,
He can pick them up and throw them over the line.
He's a very, very good rider. African Night Sky, owned by Fred Crabbier. Well done to him. Justin Snaith training it, and came through, won a very good race. A Highlands Farm stud of the breeders here, and they breed some top horses.
They do breed some top horses, yeah. It'll be interesting to see the change of ownership and how they go.
Bernard Fadeherb, just talking about him, tall lad.
He's tall, and I read somewhere that he got down to 55 in Dubai.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
well, that's it. He's a top man. He's travelled all over. When I was in Mauritius, he was there, and he was riding him to sleep. He's always been a great rider.
No, he has, yeah. He started off young. He started off in Madagascar. He used to ride ponies there.
They love it. They really do. They're passionate, the Fadeherbs. And well done to Fred. Well done to Justin. And African Night Sky. I think Justin won this race for a few of his clients last year. And it was a horse that came up here, I forget his name, and it's going to be in the shortening for the Vodacom Durban July all the time. A big Silvana horse, and Ken and Jane came up. Ken and Jane Truto came up and watched the race, and they had a couple of partners in the horse, but he's a very good horse. The name escapes me. So this has been a pointer for a lot of good horses to come through, you know.
Yeah, they should change the name to Winter Guineas. They haven't had any rain there for a while.
Yeah, the drought guineas, but let's hope it comes. I saw it was raining the other day at races, so that's always a positive sign. Wet the grass. Let's go to our 3 Group 3s that we had. That was a Group 3. We've got 3 Group 3s up at Scottsville yesterday. And let's work our way through them, starting with the Strelitzia, which is always a good race and a good pointer. Let's go and have a look at the Strelitzia first.
Flamboyant coming to the 400. Maiden Hollywood comes extreme outside. Under the Stars running on. Lalita de Lager towards the inside. Princess Peach tries to get into it. Neptune's Reign. Maiden Hollywood now comes to the outside. Under the Stars. Neptune's Reign is right there. Coming inside the 200. Maiden Hollywood. Neptune's Reign's running a big race under the Stars. Neptune's Reign could have her head in front. Maiden Hollywood on the outside. Neptune's Reign has a half a length to spare. Neptune's Reign to win. Maiden Hollywood second. Gold Image got up for third, and then Princess Peach.
Well, first stakes winner for Dave McLean, Duncan Howell's trains from. They had 2 winners on the day. This is an Antonius Pius, bred by Highlands Farm stud. It's only been beaten once, but it was in soft ground. Very nice filly.
I think it's a nice filly because she came from off the pace. I thought Keegan rode an excellent race on it. It's a confident race. And if Maiden Hollywood is all she's cracked up to be in Cape Town, they thought she was a superstar.
Yeah, you know, just to defend Maiden Hollywood, I spoke to Marcus before. Arthur Marcus has said to me, the 1100's a tad sharp.
Sure.
She wants a 6 and further. And she ran a very good race. 2 good fillies.
2 good fillies. I think Alan Robinson's stacking up into a smart racer.
Yeah, because a guy like Sean Terry and De Kock, they'll have these big fillies coming in for the Group 1. Right, that was the first of the 2-year-old Group 3s. The second of the 2-year-old Group 3s was the Godolphin Barb, another race that's thrown up some very good horses. Let's have a look at this one.
Going the quickest down the middle. Varela, red sleeves and cap to the stand side. Sir Frenchy tries to get into it. Wolgerine. Right there, Argo Magic. Wide open, Sir Frenchy and Varela coming towards the outside. Mujalid now looks to come forward. Varela looking to hang towards the outside. Sir Frenchy's right there, and Mujalid inside the 200-meter marker. Varela on the extreme outside. Wolgerine's running on strong. Sir Frenchy and Mujalid. Wolgerine's coming home down the inside, and Sir Frenchy. Wolgerine comes through to beat them. Sir Frenchy second. Mujalid and Varela in a photo for the minor positions.
Well, there we go. Wolgerine. This is the JPEG from Favorstud. And Andrew, good-looking horse. To me, I thought it had a lot to do. Its debut wasn't that far back, but I thought it had a bit to do.
Yeah, but you know, when Vaughan Marshall's in town in Scottsville, you've always got to
anyway, never mind
Scottsville. But especially Scottsville, he seems to he loves Alan Robinson and the Toga son.
Talking about Vaughan, we'll be speaking to his son Stephen later, you know, and amazing trainer. You know, he's won the Gold Cup, he's won the 5 furlong Group 1s.
Oh, no, Vaughan's been around a long time.
He's been around, he knows
started
his
off
horses.
in Ashburton, I remember.
That's right.
Like you two.
Yeah, Vaughan and I were there together, yeah. Now, Wolgerine is is a very good-looking specimen, and Bielefeld and Vaughan were telling me when I spoke to them that their horses just needed that one run, and this was impressive. This is going to win some races.
He won very well. And
I thought the two that chased it home, Sir Frenchie ran a good race. He's a tough horse, and Varela tasted defeat for the first time. Also a very nice dumb horse.
Yeah, but he got a bit of a bump out of the pens, which didn't help him. So
yeah. So there we go. That's the second of our Group 3s, and the first one for MJ Bielefeld and Vaughan Marshall. The next race we're going on to is the Poinsettia Stakes, and this is a Group 3 for the girls.
Live Life down the middle of the course. Vision to Kill tries to get closer. Frosty Friday. Live Life now comes out the pack. Oldham's there. Real Princess. Niala still right there on the inside. The Secret is out. Live Life down the middle. Niala. Oldham tries to come back for more. Live Life and coming home at Niala and Oldham the last 100 metres. Vision to Kill. The Secret is out. Is taking off on the outside. Vision to Kill. The Secret is out. The Secret is out. Won it. Live Life probably second. Vision to Kill and Niala in an absolute cracker.
Well, the Secret is out. Back to her best. Group 1 winning filly came right back to her best.
Yeah, I'm glad she's come back to her best, because it's quite disappointing when horses win in Group 1s as 2-year-olds and they don't fire and they don't go on with it. So it's good to see her back.
Good to see her come
and
back.
It'll be good for that City of Peter Maritzburg sprint, that Group 1.
Yeah. Then a wonderful family. This and Captain L again, great stallion.
Superb family.
Yeah, Secret of Victoria. This the founding mare. She's got them going. She's thrown top horses, and Vaughan's been with it, and I think Garth Miller all the way through as well.
That's right, yes.
So a wonderful double for the yard.
Yeah, I think Vaughan's finally got it going.
Yeah.
And I think you need to watch his horses.
Yeah, he's going to start firing. And I thought a good run by Shane Humby. He's relocated his horse.
That was his first runner out of Ashburton, yeah.
Ran a very good race, running close up. So there we go. Those are the Group 3s. As you know, comes up to the Guineas this weekend on the 7th. We've got the Colton Fillies Guineas. We've got the Drillhall Stakes, which is normally the start of the season. But good to get these group races out of the way.
Yeah, but I find it very strange with the programming, with having all those big races at Turf and Tone on the Saturday and then starting off with the champion season on the Sunday.
It's basically the end of their season, I think, and the champion season up the big day in Gauteng is massive. It's massive racing on the 6th.
Yes, it is, right, yeah, because it's also straight after the sales, so everybody's there.
Talking about the sales, it's a big, strong catalogue, and I think the boys will be flying into Joburg.
I've had a page through. I just hope that the market picks up, because it's been
it will pick up, and I'm confident it'll pick a lot of horses, but I know of international people coming in, which is always a good sign for the breeders, the unsung heroes, the breeders. But let's talk about racing news, and Duke of Marmalade stands down at Drakenstein, 33rd stake winner this week, so he's firing all over the place.
Yeah, I see he's moved up the stallion roster in that thoroughbred, what's that world rankings of stallions. Yeah, they've still got him marked as Australian for some reason.
Yeah, that's right. He's going to be a very good stallion. He's thrown top horses, and I think he'll be a great addition here.
Yeah, no, I think it was a master stroke from the
bringing him here. Let's talk about something interesting that happened. John O'Shea's a trainer over in Australia, and a very good trainer at that. And he trains for Godolphin. He took over the yard from the Snowdens. The Snowdens went on their own, and he decided to jag it in. Now that's very strange.
It is strange when you're at the top of your game, but
that's
right. Aussie, it's tough racing there. I don't know. We're bad in this country slagging off trainers and owners and jockeys, but I think Australia, I think the Stipes play a huge role there, and you just.
Yeah, the Age newspaper wrote an article about it, and I read the article because ANZ played it down a little bit, but they've agreed to part. They're going to work out a severance pay. And a couple of reasons given that he needed a break, and he didn't get on with the racing manager, a guy called Henry Plumtree. He never got on with them. So think about it. He had 550 winners for them, 10 Group 1s. Hartnell, I think, ran second to Winks about 3 times. So he's decided that he's stressed out. He's lost his zest. That was his comment. He's lost his zest. Very strange.
Yeah, I know, but pressure gets to people, especially in this game. I don't. Training racehorses is not easy. People think you just line them up.
I wouldn't know much about that, but sure, I agree with you. James Cummings is favourite to get the position. Now, James Cummings is the grandson of Bart, and it's wonderful because the Cummings dynasty carries on. You know, his son trains Anthony. This is Anthony's son, and he's favourite to get it. And funnily enough, for those guys who know that the Magic Million sales come up at the end of the month, weanlings, brood mares, and of course yearlings. Godolphin are downsizing a lot of their mares. They're selling a lot of mares at Magic Million. So bear that in mind if you're looking for top mares. They are selling at the Magic Million sales at the end of the month. Okay, now I just wanted to speak to you. Gary Jolliffe sent something through to us, you know. The Zimbabwean Derby winner was bred by the legendary Doubles Draper, grandma of Craig Carey.
Okay. So
yeah, she's in her 90s now and still going strong. And Gary goes on to say she was a legend, you know, to all of them. And wonderful to see the people who love the game so much being involved.
Yeah. But Zim racing has always been strong. It's like a family affair. They always have a good time there.
Yeah. Nice name, Doubles Draper.
Doubles Draper.
We could have triples Lafferty. Yeah, so well done. And thanks very much to Gary Jolliffe for sending that in to us. And that just about concludes our current affairs. We've got a bit of info for you as well in your call before we speak to Stephen Marshall. Hi and welcome to Your Call. As I said earlier, we'll be speaking to Stephen Marshall a little bit later, but Andrew and I are going to go through the three fields that consist of our big races down here on the 7th, and we're also going to look at the QE2, which was run over the weekend. And Andrew, let's get straight into it. They're starting with the fillies, guineas. They're going to put a slide up showing the field, and it's always a very good race, and trying to find the winner here is never too easy, but good to see some good horses come into town. If you had a glance through the list, who would jump out at you?
I've got a feeling for Gimme 6 of
Justin
Snaith ran an excellent race the other day. I thought she won very well. Dawn Calling, I know Duncan's trying to prime her for the Vodacom, but we'll see how good she is. If she doesn't feature here, I don't think she's got much chance there.
Yeah, there's 11 runners, and Dawn Calling drawn out at 10, which doesn't help. But Ektafar has always had a touch of ability, you know. And
yeah.
Michael brings her into town. Callum Murray's got the ride. I think the Australian horse got a shout here.
No, definitely got a shout. Also was drawn 7, middle of the field. It should be fine.
Yeah. A horse like Final Judgment did well down here in the season last year, and Glenn's got his horses ticking over nicely. I'd give it some sort of a chance.
That form, that 2-year-old form, hasn't really worked out that well. The Final Judgment Sale.
Yeah. It's not standing up.
Not standing up.
Yeah, you know, and you always got to have a look to see what Sean Terry, the champion trainer. See, when you get the likes of Brett Crawford, Jeff Woodruff, Sean Terry, the guys with the big horses have all come into town for this race.
You never know what they've got. You know, you think you've got a good one, and they can blow you away.
Yeah, you know, it's important too, and Duncan Howes has managed to secure draw 1 with his horse, which is a woman's way. But I think the betting will give us a bit of a guide here, because I don't think this looks easy.
No, I don't. I think the bookmakers will have to do the work out the.
Yeah, I think
take the
you
price
know,
afterwards.
as you say, give me 6 Ectofar I like, but there's the field, and it gets the big card going with the fillies guineas. It's a very difficult race. Andrew and I just touched briefly on it, but it's not easy, that one. Then we go on to Colts guineas, which is always a great race. In the old days, you said I won the guineas. You knew you'd done really something good.
Yeah, this used to be the South African guineas. Yeah.
That's right. It used to be the SA guineas. Now let's just have a look at this. We started Janubi, very good horse. Gave his peer his 5,000th winner here or something like that.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. But I don't know that Joburg form. I don't think that's holding up all that well either.
Yeah. Now Africa Rising is a very good horse.
We won very nicely here the other day.
They left a boot on.
I saw that. Yes,
That's called putting the boot in. And it's still one comfortably.
Still one comfortably. Yeah.
He's a very nice visionary. He's a very good-looking horse. Now Horizon's an interesting horse. He prepped the other day with Zodiac Ruler, and he beat Zodiac Ruler. He was favourite for the Derby down in Cape Town, Andrew. And I don't know if it was a dead pace. He fluffed his lines. Zodiac Ruler ran second that day ahead of him. The interesting thing is, these new guys who came at the game, they've spent big money. Now, if this horse wins a Group 1, they're going to show a profit. He'll be a stallion and they'll be out of it.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, he's already won a Group 3, the Politician Stakes
Yeah.
in Cape Town. So he's already
He looks a
halfway
very
there,
good
and
horse.
he's a really nice horse.
He could
and I
win.
think he needs ground. I think he won the other day, but I think he needs a bit further too.
Yeah, he could go. And he's ended up being, this is again Mark Bass purchasing. He's got a wonderful
He's a master.
eye.
He's good. Good.
He's a master, Walter.
Well,
Walter
at
the God.
5.2 bar, you should.
Yeah, you've got to
should
have a
be
very
quite
good eye.
looking.
You've got to have a deep wallet and a very good eye. Zodiac Ruler's a top horse. He's won a Group 2. He's been runner-up in 2 Group 1s. Prep Run was very good the other day. He likes this track. He'll also be a factor. Copper Force. Now, I think Justin inherited this horse and ran in that restricted race down in Cape Town, ran second and earned big money. But the run the other day wasn't bad.
No, it wasn't bad at all. Ran nice, a little bit greener in the turn, and I think
Matador Man had, got thumped this weekend.
Thumped the weekend.
Yeah, he wasn't good enough. Gunner hasn't come back to
Gunner,
Group 1 form.
I think he may even Paul Gasby thinks he may have flicked that one. And
that's right. And then
very honest of him.
Yeah, he until you bring a horse back. A horse that I like is Secret Captain.
He ran an excellent race the other day.
He's a very good horse.
And he's a nice horse too.
And David McLean again, Duncan's done wonderfully well for him. This is a very nice horse. So this points to be a good race. If I put you onto a spot here, Andrew, who would you lump your money on?
I'd probably go with Horizon from Africa Rising.
Yeah, that's very true. And then the Drill All, traditionally known as the opening race for the season. It's a 1400. A lot of Vodacom July horses take a chance in this field. They have a warm-up, they get them tightened up, and then you can have the sprinters trying to get a blown. But let's just go through them, starting at the top with Marinaresco, top horse.
The top horse, but I think he's still got something to prove. I think his reputation...
Well, in Cape Town,
his reputation is bigger than what he's actually done on the track.
Well, if you look at his season up here, Andrew, he was an unlucky loser in the Vodacom Durban July, and then he won the Group 1 named after Mike Bass. Very good horse. He just, maybe he's better up here. Let's see.
It could be.
It could be, but he's a very good horse.
Yeah.
Captain America, great run in the Met, good galloper.
He seems to have got better as he's got older.
Yeah, another captain now putting it through. Champagne Hayes, a bit to do here.
I reckon so.
Good to have Fortune back in town, the lunatic.
What's he's going off to Mauritius?
Is he going to Mauritius?
He's going to Mauritius.
Oh, crumpets. He'll have them all going there. New Predator is a very good horse too.
Yeah, this is probably his game too.
Yeah,
7 furlongs.
Yeah, probably his game. I think you're right. Black Arthur, he's
horse,
been touted as could be a Vodacom.
I think he's warming up for the Vodacom. Yeah.
He's a very good horse in his own right. Sail South, no slouch.
No slouch.
And just looking through the rest of them, anything jump out at you?
Well, Saratoga Dancer, he was any price in the July, ran a good fifth.
Very good. He's a very good horse, and so is Duncan's other horse, 10 Gun Salute. But I think the interest could be higher up, the higher numbers. Anything lower down that you think could get a blow in?
Looking through there, no, not really, no. Possibly Baritone.
Yeah, it's good to see these horses come out now because the Drill All is a race that you don't know if they're sharp enough or they're going to run fresh and win it.
But that's what's so nice about this champion season. You get all these warm-up races. You can actually sit down and and especially now with PVRs, I think you can watch them over and over and over again, and you can pick out horses that are improving. And, it's just
what I
lovely.
like about
the whole season just builds up.
What I like about the season is they come from every corner.
Yeah,
you know, you're not getting. They're
horses.
all around the country. They don't say, listen, we're going to race here or there. You all come up for the season because there's good money, but there's great racing.
It's great racing.
You get a lot of your Equus Award winners come up for this season. Right, let's move on to our last. We've got a feature race to show you, and it's the QE2 Cup, which was run this weekend in Hong Kong. And Trevor Free, Phil George, a whole gang of them went out hoping that Michael de Kock would have his runners, but unfortunately he didn't. So they were there for the day. And eye-opening, as they called it.
Is Hong Kong still the same place after they finished?
Yeah. Hong Kong. The boys popped over to Macau. Okay, let's have a look at the QE2.
Stand by for a start. The Audemars Piguet QE2 Cup, and they're off and racing. Dicton was the slowest out of the gates. Pakistan Star was one of the fastest out of the gates, and he's over racing a little bit in the early stages with no real speed to report. The United States has rolled over and takes the lead as they work out of the stretch from Pakistan Star, who now settles better on his back. Blazing Speed is third, racing with no cover. A length and a half away then to Werther, who's already off the fence at the 1600 metre point on the outside of Dicton. A length further back then to the Japanese galloper, who some thought might lead. He's back third last on the outside of Secret Weapon, and 2.5 further back to Designs on Rome at the tail. Inside the 1400 metres, and the leader is the United States for Brett Preble. Shows the way by 2 lengths on. Blazing Speed, Pakistan Star is third. Werther is tracking lovely fourth, a little bit keen with no tempo. Followed by Dicton on the inside of Neo Realism. They are really crawling for this calibre of galloper. Followed then by Secret Weapon, who's second last. They're going that slow. The Designs on Rome has joined them at the 1000 metre point. And the leader is now Neo Realism as he rolls forward Moreira and takes over from the United States. Blazing Speed third, 2 back to Werther on the outside of Pakistan Star as they quicken up. Then came Dicton, 2 further back to Secret Weapon. Designs on Rome now run off his legs, 9 from the speed. Neo Realism, Joe Moreira with the Audemars Piguet timepiece rolling in his mind. Comes up to the home corner, 500 metres out, a half on Blazing Speed. The United States placed under pressure. Werther's tracking into the race beautifully. 2 further back to Pakistan Star. Then Secret Weapon, Dicton and Designs on Rome. Neo Realism still has it, a half on Werther and Blazing Speed. Pakistan Star, the jets have been turned on, thundering down the middle, but Neo Realism's got a kick. Pakistan Star trying to reach him with Werther and Blazing Speed. Neo Realism fights on strongly. Pakistan Star tries hard. Japan have won the QE2 Cup again with Neo Realism from Pakistan Star and Werther. Blazing Speed, the United States, Secret Weapon, Dicton and Designs on Rome. Well, it was a race of tactics, wasn't it? They went pedestrian-like through the first 6 to 800. Joe Moreira said, I've had enough of this. He whipped around them, took the lead, rated Neo Realism perfectly.
Well, Andrew, big racing, Neo Realism. Japanese horse rolled into town, Joe Moreira.
Joe Moreira is an unbelievable jockey. We were, hindsight's always
exact
science, but we saw him here when he rode for the internationals about 3 years ago when he came out here. And he was riding winners on horses that were absolutely hopeless.
Unfashionable,
and very slow too, but he still got them there.
Superb rider. One of the world's best, with Ryan Moore and a few other guys.
Jeez, I think he's...
Is he your numero uno?
Yeah, he's my numero
This is his first time he's won the QE2 Cup.
So it's the one race that he hadn't won. Yeah.
And the Japanese have got a bit of a grip on it now.
A bit of a grip, that's their fourth one.
Yeah, the trainer is Noriyuki Hori, and the jockey we've spoken about. But this is by Neo Universe. It's his third stake winner, Neo Universe. And Neo Universe is a 3-parts brother to Real Impact, who's by Deep Impact.
Deep Impact. Yeah, those Japanese, they've bought some good horses. They're starting to breed some tremendous horses now.
Sure.
Yeah.
The stake money is so high. I think Deep Impact's higher than
But also what I like about the Japanese horses is that they stay a bit of ground. They're not just out and out sprinters.
Well,
like the Aussies.
the Sunday Silence influence coming through. They got those top 10 furlong horses, but a very good win. And this is a race where people come into town to try to win the money, big stake money.
It's big stake money,
Yeah. All right, there we go. That's our racing. That's the first part of your call. We'll be back in a moment talking to Stephen. Yeah, Agence France Press is the Magic Millions graduate, successful one this week, and winning for my mate Nardis Lottering. Well done to him, and well done to everyone concerned with this successful graduate. Right, welcome back to the second part of your call, where I told you we'd have Steve Marshall in, and he's in with us. He's the CEO of Track and Ball, and we're here to talk about the Charity Turf Challenge, because Track and Ball are the headliners with that. But let's just talk about Track and Ball for a moment now that we've got you here. How are things going there?
Very well, Paul. Obviously excited for the champion season coming up. A lot of good horses coming down for the season, so really looking forward to it.
Your old man struck gold yesterday.
He did. I wish I knew about it. 5-1 the double would have been nice to know. But
good start. So you're new in the job at Track and Ball, and moving your way along, and you've seen progress.
I have, Paul. There's a few things that we're changing. A bit of diversity in the types of bets that we're offering. But things are moving forward.
Online betting, is that quite big?
It's currently for Track and Ball, it's not. It's something that is a major focus for us going forward, which is why we're getting involved with these types of competitions like the Charity Turf Challenge.
Okay, now that's the reason we're here to talk about the Charity Turf Challenge. It's a very interesting concept where people go out there and try and select 10 horses who can earn them the most points over the winter season, so to speak. Okay. And I like the prize structure. If you win it, you get 100 grand. If two guys win it, 50 each?
I think there's dead heat rules. I think,
here's the slide here. That's the slide we've got up at the moment. For those of you watching at home, the Charity Turf Challenge, 7th of May, 29th of July, 100 grand. Now, what's interesting, in red there, that you guys are going to, let's put it this way, a ticket to have your 10 selections costs you 50 rand.
Correct, yeah.
You can put in as many as you like.
You can, yeah.
Now, Track and Ball will give you back betting vouchers for your company at Track and Ball to the value of 200 rand.
Correct. So if you take four entries, you would get the full 200 rand back in betting vouchers with Track and Ball.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So you got a chance. It gives you an incentive to take 200 rands worth and try and flick your way out of it on something.
It's worth having a go.
Now, the races that they talk about on these sheets, they basically encompass all best horses.
Correct.
Are there any horses allowed from outside of that sheet?
No, the sheet is the set competition. Obviously, there may be one or two that come through the season, but it's very difficult. Peter Gibson puts the list together, and he chats to all the trainers and gets an idea of the horses that they are bringing down for the season. But obviously, there could be one or two, but then everyone's on the same playing field. So that's why the list.
Yeah, that's right. You've got to get the best points with what's available.
Correct.
And as I say, it's a hell of a concept. But now another interesting part of the concept is the prize structure: 120 and 10 for your first three, and that's decided at the end of the season, 29th of July.
Yeah, after Gold Cup Day.
And Peter and his team, and you and your team, you keep a roster of who's leading.
There will be an updated list of the leaderboard kept on racingsouthafrica.co.za.
Are there any people who aren't eligible to go into this?
Obviously, employees of Track and Ball and the guys involved.
Your team are not allowed to get involved.
No,
the staffs, jockeys are allowed to bet, aren't they? Yeah, I'm sure they're allowed to bet. So it's mainly the punters.
Mainly the punters.
They get involved. Now, another interesting point, Steve, is if you can get the right horses in the Group 1, you get more points than a Group 2 and then a Group 3. Is that right?
I think it gives the punters a bit of a view of a trainer as well, because it's not just looking at one race and deciding who's got the best chance in that race. It's looking at the whole season. How many prep runs is a horse going to have during the season in those group races? Are they just going to come straight for the July or one of the other Group 1s or Group 2s? Or are they going to be running in 2, 3, 4 races during the season, in which case you can maximize your points? Yeah. So, it's very much a different view of just looking at one race.
It's a very good idea or innovation, I believe, is if you find a horse who's above 15 to 1 on the tote, the SP on the tote, you get bonus points?
You get bonus points for that race, yes.
So it gives the guy a bit of a chance to say, I'm going to find a roughie here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But then they've got to be performing throughout the season, so
well, not
it's
just
not just for one race.
But if you get bonus points, say a guy finds a horse and it wins a Group 2 and it's at 20 to 1, he'll get bonus points.
He will get bonus points, correct.
And how far down do you pay? If you know, say you got a Group 2 races run and you got first, second, you're getting points all the way. Do you go down to what, 5, 6, 4?
I'd have to check the guys can check all the terms and conditions on the Racing South Africa site. There's obviously quite a lot of terms and conditions there which the guys can have a look at.
Now, Tab Gold perennially hand out prizes, so they're going to be doing that.
They're going to continue to do that throughout the season. They're going to be lucky draws and that going throughout the season as well.
Like we did over the past years. Very good idea, because they get some good prizes. And I know most of those prizes were people on course, which is great, you know,
correct.
like Gold Circle have been doing. So all in all, the key now, people watching this, they can go online.
They can go online to enter online. It's quite tricky this year. Previous years, there was about a week between the end of the Gauteng season and the start of the KZN season, and obviously a lot of the horses that are going to be coming down for the winter season are running on that final day on the 6th, on Saturday. So there's only a 12-hour gap now between
making your final opinion.
Making your final opinion.
You know,
so
I think you've got to have an
online.
idea by now. You've got to have an idea.
Correct.
And then you can go online and you can, where do they go online to? Track and Ball?
They can. There is a link on the Track and Ball website, trackandball.co.za.
Charity Turf Challenge.
Charity Turf Challenge, correct. Or they can go directly to racingsouthafrica.co.za. The full terms and conditions, the entry form, everything is there.
Obviously, no late entries. What is the closing off date?
Closing off date is the start of the champion season on the 7th. The first horse to race, it'll probably be in the Fillies Guineas.
So before the Fillies Guineas, the hammer comes down.
Correct.
And you've got to get your bets in. And I know people come on course, and D's used to have a little table set up, and they come, and those people are going to get the benefit of a betting voucher as well.
Correct.
So
everyone that enters, whether it's online, whether it's a manual entry, they'll get contacted by Track and Ball and have the offer extended to them if they would like to take advantage of the betting voucher to cover their entry fee up to 200 Rand.
Very good idea. Have we covered everything?
I think so, Paul. I think
we're ready to go. And then you guys can't, you and the staffs can't get on, but we always take every year. I think we finished 17th once. That was our best. But Steve, thanks very much for coming in. Wonderful talking to you.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks, Paul.
All right, there's Stephen Marshall. He's the CEO of Track and Ball. It really looks like a good competition. Get out there, get on that Charity Turf Challenge. Put your 50 Rand in. 100 grand could certainly help you. We'll see you next week.
Your world of winners is now online at www.teletrack.com. Simply subscribe to log into your account from any mobile device in South Africa and access a wide variety of content from our membership package options. Listen in via a live audio stream, catch live racing locally and internationally, or view a wide variety of Teletrack magazine shows to stay informed and updated on the go at any time. It's never been easier. Go to teletrack.com now.